Hello everyone, welcome back to Chemistry Chronicles where we make chemistry simple, engaging, and fun. This is part 6 of learning the basics of chemistry, and our topic for today is naming of ionic compounds. Compounds are made of metals and nonmetals. The metals are positively charged and nonmetals are negatively charged. The positively charged metals are called cations and the negatively charged nonmetals are called anions. Now, we can divide the anions into two types.
Monoatomic and polyatomic. Monoatomic anions are fluoride, chloride, bromide, iodide, oxide, nitride, sulfide, and phosphide. You have to memorize the charge of these 8 monoatomic ions because it will not be provided in the examination. However, for the polyatomic ions, a chart will be given to you with the help of which you can find their charges. For your convenience, I've given the chart here. Now let's learn how to name ionic compounds with the help of their formulas. Rule number 1. Always identify your cation and anion from the formula. Let's try to name the first compound here. Here sodium, which is Na, is our cation, and oxygen, which is O, is our anion. Sodium has a 1 plus charge because it belongs to the group 1A of the periodic table, and we can find the charge of oxygen from the previous slide, which is -2. So we will put -2 for oxygen. While writing the name, we first write the name of the cation and then the name of the anion. Since sodium is our cation here, we will write sodium first. And then oxygen with a -2 charge is called oxide. So we will write oxide because that is our anion. Now let's try to find the name of the next compound, and that is KBrO3. Here K, which is potassium, is our cation and has a positive 1 charge because it belongs to the group 1A of the periodic table. BrO3 minus, which is bromate, is a polyatomic anion and has a charge of -1. Again, you don't have to remember the charge, it will be provided to you. Now, just like we did for the previous compound, we will write the name of the cation first and then we will write the name of the anion. In this case, our cation is potassium, so we will write potassium first, and our anion is bromate. So we will write bromate. So the compound is potassium bromate. Now let's try to solve the third one. I know it looks a little difficult, but trust me, it's very easy. So like always, we will find our cation first, we will write the charge of it, and then we will write the charge of the anion. In this case, copper, Cu is the cation and has a charge of 2 plus, and SO4 is a polyatomic anion and it has a charge of 2 minus. Note that copper has many valencies, but here copper with a 2 valency has been used. That's why the charges of copper and sulfate cancel each other. So first we will write the name of the cation, which is copper, and we have to write the valency in brackets so that the teacher can understand which copper are you using. And then we write the name of the anion, which is sulfate. So our compound is copper 2 sulfate. But how will you name this? Here there is written 5 water. So we will write pentahydrate. Penta for the 5 and hydrate for the water compound. And all you need to do is add this to your compound. So with copper 2 sulfate we will write pentahydrate. This is the name of our entire compound. Copper 2 sulfate pentahydrate. I will leave the rest for you to solve. Now let's try to solve the other way around. We will try to find the formula of the compound with the help of its chemical name. The rules remain the same. We always have to identify the cation and anion of the compound. Given the first compound is sodium hydroxide. Here sodium, which is Na, is our cation and has a positive 1 charge. And hydroxide is a polyatomic anion and has a negative charge. So write Na plus under cation and OH minus under anion. In this case, the rule number 2 is to exchange the charge of the anion and cation. Both sodium and hydroxide have a charge of 1. So we will write 1 for both cases. It's okay if you keep the charges like that, but usually we don't write 1. So here I'm writing NaOH. This is the formula of sodium hydroxide, but it's fine if you keep the charges of the sodium and hydroxide. Moving to the next one, we have barium hydroxide octahydrate. Here barium is our cation, which has a +2 charge, and hydroxide has a minus charge. So we will write Ba2 plus in the place of cation and OH minus in the place of anion. By exchanging their charges we get BaOH whole 2, which is the answer for barium hydroxide. But what about octahydrate? Let's solve. Octa means 8 and hydrate refers to H2O or water. Now we will put a dot beside barium hydroxide and we will write 8H2O, which means octahydrate. Finally, our formula is completed. So the formula for barium hydroxide octahydrate is BaOH whole 2 dot 8H2O. Our last compound is cobalt 2 oxide. Here cobalt is our cation and the charge for this one will be 2 plus because in the bracket they've already mentioned the valency of it, which is 2. And our anion will be oxide and it has a -2 charge. So we will write cobalt 2 plus for cation and for anion we will write O2 minus, which is oxide. After interchanging their charges we get CO2O2. But while writing chemical formulas, we have to make sure that we decrease the numbers to a level where they are not divisible anymore. That means we have to decrease it to the lowest number. So by cancelling both 2, we get 1 on each side. But we don't write 1 in the case of chemical formulas. So we will just write COO, which is cobalt oxide with a 2 valency. And this is what the formula for cobalt oxide looks like. I have done 3 for you and I'm leaving the rest for you to solve. That was all for today. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more such videos. See you in the next one. Till then, take care. Bye bye.